Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Yeah, so I'm creating this video today. First off, I want to thank you guys for the comments and the likes on my first video ever. And I was just really shocked that it actually got some views, and also like that it came on people's, like, I guess, explore page. So I really appreciate the comments, and it's really nice for you guys. So because of that, that really made me realize that this could go somewhere. So I guess I'm gonna continue to post, or at least try to post. Talking to the camera is still a bit awkward for me, even though I feel like I should be used to it by now. Yeah, but today I'll be talking to you guys about, I guess I want to give you guys a realistic gym journey of mine. And when I say realistic, I'm not saying that other people's aren't realistic. I guess I'm just saying, like, I've had a lot of ups and downs, and I think that's normal, and it's okay to not look like as big as, I guess, society or like social media expects you to be. So okay, yeah. So if you guys, you guys don't know, but I entered the gym when I was 14, and I did boxing, and I had a PT because I was too young. So the gym at the time, they were like, oh, you need to have a PT to actually enter the gym. So I started gymming when I was 14 because I was slouching. But previously, before the gym, I was also playing football. I was goalkeeper. And so you can say that I've been in a gym for like 6 years now, but I guess the thing is that you look at me and you're just kind of like, I look quite small, I guess, for someone who says that they've been in the gym since they were 14, to preface. But like, it's a bit, I've been gymming a lot more nowadays, but basically what I'm saying is there are gains, but it's not that noticeable, especially if you were to post it on social media, let's say like that. But like, even though I'm saying this, I think people don't know that I used to be 53 kilograms, and now I'm 64 kilograms. And that is a huge difference. I see a huge change in my physique. Looking back at all these videos and photos of myself, I'm just kind of like, wow, like I've gone so far, even though it looks like I didn't. So I guess I wanted to make this video to give you guys a timeline of my gym journey, show you guys my ups and downs and the things I struggle with in the gym, also like outside of the gym, and like life experiences. Because I think nowadays social media, especially with short form content, you only see transformation videos. You don't see like the process, or like the mindset, the mental, I guess, position you were in at the time. And also just make a video and make sure that you guys know that, like, I guess change takes a long time, and it's gonna be slower than what social media shows you to be, but at the end of the day, it will all be worth it. I think that's the goal of the video. So okay, we can start. Okay, so I guess I'll give you guys a bit of my timeline. So as I said, I first started playing football in primary school, and I was on the girls team because this was before I transitioned, and I was playing keeper. And then I entered the gym when I was 14 because my mom says I was slouching, and I was like, okay, whatever. I did boxing too, and that was really fun. So I'd had like one PT session a week, and I was not consistent at all. Like, genuinely, I was not consistent. And most of the time when I went to the gym, it'd be like, I think if I remember, like 80% of the time I would just be on the treadmill, and the other 20% is just going through the same thing that my gym coach taught me. And I was really weak. I was very weak. It wasn't very motivating because I also didn't know much about the gym. I just knew that, like, oh, my coach taught me this, so I had to do this. And there wasn't like I never researched into it and stuff like that. So at some point, my mom bought me a bicycle, and that was like a lot of freedom. Just being able to go anywhere you want without being like held down by someone. And after 1 year of coaching, I stopped and tried to gym myself because I was like, okay, I have enough information, like that's all I needed. And COVID happened. But Vietnam was, I lived in Vietnam, and Vietnam was one of those countries that contained it really well. So like after a few months, we were like right back out, and all we had to do was wear a mask and have our like online, online COVID vaccine app, whatever. So school went online, I continued gymming, and it was like I got really into the gym, but then at the same time, like I got really into the gym, and that also made my eating habits like go down because I was also battling with, like, at that time I think I was like, well, 15. At the time I was 15, 16. I was battling with, like, I guess myself about being like, oh, do I want to be really skinny or do I want to be like really big and fit? And I think at the time I was like, okay, I want to be skinny because at the time I still didn't understand my own gender identity, and also being surrounded by all these, like, all my friends who are these like gorgeous, pretty girls, you know, like they're very gorgeous. It made me feel like, why don't I fit into this like certain beauty standards, and I'm just like I'm a chud next to them. So I was like, okay, like I was obsessed with the gym and I wanted to be skinny, and then at some point, like, I developed, I think, an eating disorder, but it was like, I remember at some point I ate a yogurt and a bit more a day, or in one day that I can remember. Yeah, so I got really into the gym, and it was also the first time that I was able to lock in, and that was when I started researching more about the gym, and I saw physical changes in myself. Like, I gained weight, but then I dropped fat, and I saw that physically, and I was so obsessed with it, you know, like, once you see like progress, you can't stop. And then I stopped the gym because of relationship issues. So before my second relationship ended, I was really into the gym. I was going and I was like feeling myself, whatever. And then we broke up, and then that threw me in a huge depression for like so long. And I just quit gymming completely until like high school graduation. I guess I had different priorities, and at the time my priorities was my mental health, you know, like, yeah. So I stopped gymming for a year because of a girl. But I kept on playing football, and after that relationship I got into a new relationship, and I was 16, 17. I graduated high school when I was 17, so I was quite young. And I had my exams. I guess stopping the gym was because I also had other priorities, which was like my IB exams, which to me at the time was like life and death. Same way to how I also stopped drumming, basically. I mean, I still drummed at the time, but I was offered a scholarship with my music school, but then they would require me to take 2 more lessons a week, and I was like, I don't have the time for that. Like, I need to like prioritize my IB exams. And you know what, like, I'm glad I did, because I got into the London School of Economics, and I'm very proud of myself. So yeah, and after high school graduation, I went to uni, I went to London, I got my own bicycle, and that really kickstarted my like love for bicycling, because I cycled everywhere, and it was so convenient to cycle in London, because if you guys know, like, the tube takes so long, like the bus takes so long, it might not even come, you know. And if you take a car, then that's like a hole in your pocket. And also like 40 minutes gone of your time. So I also cycled to my gym, but it was a bit far away, so I was battling with a bit of consistency. And also in my first year, oh yeah, during COVID, I picked up cooking, and I really liked cooking, and I was really bad at it. But in my first year, when I went to uni, I lived in a dorm without a kitchen, so it was all catering. And they genuinely just fed us like slop. I think slop is the right word, because it was literally just like, oh, some rice, and then slop, and it just like gargles. I'm like, okay, like, I guess I'm eating that. And then I was also drinking a lot, like four times a week, to the point that like my first girlfriend, she like commented on my post once and was like, AT, do you ever drink water? And I was like, fuck, okay, damn. Yeah, and so I just went to the gym, not much going on. I wish I played football. Uni was a huge thing for me, because it was my first time being able to start over with my new gender identity, and also my new name, and not people knowing my old name. And it was great because I was able to start fresh. But the problem was I was too afraid to go play social football with the guys, because at this time I wasn't medically transitioned yet. So that was something I really regret, because I wish I was confident enough, but at the same time I wasn't. Like, genuinely, there was so much anxiety around that. But besides that, I played social football with some people that I know, like only, I'd say that once or twice. I predominantly went to the gym, and between first year to second year, so let's say like summer, or like between May to like September of first year, second year in uni, I was active in all kinds of sports. I was getting into football with my friends back in Vietnam. I was playing badminton with like new people and picking up badminton as a sport. That was really fun. It was like a really fun form of cardio. Especially rock climbing. I was so into rock climbing, especially during the summer of the end of first year. I was rock climbing like 3 times a week, and that was like the most fun thing ever. It was so rewarding. You know, it was one of those sports that's so rewarding. I was at the same time, like, I think deep down people didn't know that I was also struggling with like a lot of like gender dysphoria. People know that I was trans. Like at that time, like I've socially transitioned to everyone in my social circle. But the thing was, they didn't know like I was also wearing a binder when I'm playing sports, or like all these stuffs that is like these things that I can't tell people because it's rooted in like insecurity, and also like being able to like present myself in the way that I want to be. So this caused a bit of like problems, such as like I was overheating in Vietnam, or like it felt really uncomfortable when I rock climbed because I was like, you're supposed to like stretch and like, yeah, you know. Yeah, so it was fun, but I forget about it because I've gotten top surgery 4 months ago, and I completely forgot about how binders are such a hassle, and like it really affected my life in a way that I didn't realize. Because now I can just like wake up and throw on a shirt and feel confident and walk out the door and just like live my life like true to myself, you know. I think I am an example that like, I guess healthcare for trans people really does work. And I'm glad I transitioned when I was young. I mean like as an adult, like a young adult, but it would be cool if I was able to transition when I was younger, because I felt like I would have appreciated that. Having all these experiences early on and not having to like delay my experiences living a life as like a man. Anyways, so I got into second year, and I finally got my hands on testosterone, and I medically transitioned in second year, and that was a great thing that happened to myself mentally, and also like my gym progress, because not only that testosterone helps you build muscles easier. Not saying that it's easy to build muscle with testosterone. You still have to put in the hard work, but it really balanced out my hormones, especially I stopped getting periods, it just fluctuates your hormones so much. And so like I've experienced that, and like just like the bloating, the tiredness, and just like that circle, and it just comes back every month. It's just a hassle. And having my periods stop and just being able to like have the stable flow of hormones, it has really helped me like keep my mind clear and just like have this consistent level of energy all the time. And yeah, I was really happy. This was also around the time when I was cooking a lot more, because I moved into a new flat where there was a kitchen, and I like cooked like crazy. I cooked for everyone. It became like a form of love language for me. So yeah, so second year I just gymmed a lot, and I also still played like badminton and maybe a bit of rock climbing here and there, but it wasn't as intense as like when I was in Vietnam, because just the rock climbing in London is so expensive. So here I am in China now, and I'm still gymming, and I'm still working very well. And I played football in the first semester because I was very comfortable, even though I haven't had top surgery then. I was very comfortable with myself, with like how I look, with my voice, and being able to blend in and just being able to fit in and play football, you know. But after top surgery, I had to like stop gymming and all stop all the sports, because especially football as a high impact sport, and me as a goalkeeper, I cannot play that until I think at least 6 months or something. And I got back into the gym now, and it took me a while. It was very like a slow progress. It was a lot about like picking up really light weights and just making sure that it doesn't tear. And I predominantly just trained legs. And now I've been running a lot more. I'm planning on doing walks a lot more. I'm doing a 75 hard, and it started yesterday, and I'm doing well. So, I mean, it's only been one day, but that was the timeline. And I think I dived into a bit of things about like my struggles. Yeah, but I guess now I wrote a few things out. I'm gonna bring them up because I think I didn't bring them up in the video. So firstly, something that really affected my gym journey, because it also affected my mental health, was my high school experiences. I grew up in an international school in Vietnam, and it was a time where in Vietnam everything was really accessible. So you can get your hands on alcohol and stuff like that, like super easy. And so basically I had early access to this when I was like at a young age, so like what, 15? And it was excessive drinking, and I've never drank so much in my life. I don't even drink now, like to that degree. Like I don't remember the day that like I can't even like pinpoint a time in my adult life that I've drank as much as in my minor life. Like it's stupid. And it's honestly just the environment that I was surrounded in, and it wasn't a good environment. It was a lot of like, looking back now, like, you know what, like my parents caught me and like I got grounded, and you know what, like looking back I'm like, yeah, that was stupid. Like what was I doing, you know? Like I'd ground my child too, you know? So yeah, also because everyone was just like in a different priority mindset, and we were living in a bubble, and you think like high school was like the biggest thing of your life, and then now that I'm 20 and I'm in third year and I'm in China, like you realize like high school did not mean shit. And you know what, high school people were the worst people ever. Like obviously all my friends were great, and all the people I've been great. The people I was friends with was great, but the people that I wasn't friends with, they were just awful people, like genuinely awful people. And you know what, like I pity them, because I do think it is the high school environment that probably affected the way that they are. Not to excuse it, but I guess I feel bad for them, and I hopefully they're like changed now. They're like a better person now. Also, okay, regarding my diet, first time having access to pocket money, I was buying so much like food online. Okay, my like addiction was Popeyes, Snickers, Red Bull, and boba. And I would have like 2 bobas a day, like 1 Red Bull a day, and like when I would order Popeyes, and it was just like so much junk food. It was because like my family, I grew up in a almond mom household where like we had nothing but like literally like crackers and biscuits, and I wouldn't even eat crackers and biscuits because I don't like that. And then on a good day, like someone gifts us like Coke, like Coke Zero. Actually no, not even Coke Zero, just regular Coke. And that was like the biggest, like that was like the only sweet snack that we'd have in the house. So having access to pocket money, I really went crazy, and I think that really affected like my diet a lot, because yeah, I wasn't fueling my body correctly, and I was really scrawny and all that stuff. Another struggle, which was basically like I mentioned already, was just fear of the gym. You know, like you're afraid of like, well, this was at the beginning, so there was like a plateau like this. You know, like it goes like that. Fear of the gym, but it really helped with going out with some of my friends who previously gymmed already, so I joined them in their gym session, and it was really fun, and it felt like I wasn't alone. Yeah, so I guess that's all the things I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I guess I can give you guys the best outcome. Well, in short, the best outcome was that I'm glad that I kept going. I'm glad I pushed through, even though like I think I'm like, I guess to like social media standards I'm small, but the fact that I've gained over 10 kilograms and I feel stronger than ever, I'm really proud of the weights that I push and the weights that I use in the gym, and no one can tell me what about it, you know, like, yeah. And then also the impact of my medical transition and the impact of my top surgery, because top surgery has made me feel more consistent in the gym. I feel like one of the lads, and it has really helped me without realizing it. And you know what, I'm extremely grateful that my family support me, and like they knew that this was something that was beneficial to me and good for me, and I'm really happy, because my family is like Asian, you know, like, you know, the stereotypes about Asian people, like, oh, tiger mom, you know. I mean, I think my mom was very like tigerish, but like she was also really supporting, and similar to my dad. So yeah, shocking. And finally, I want to give you guys a bit of some advice. I guess my first advice I wrote down was, do not follow the crowds. Like what I mentioned about the high school experiences, like stay away from bad people or people that makes you question your ethics and goals. And honestly, like the easiest way to do this is if when you're around them and just the vibes feel off and you don't feel like yourself, you feel like you're disassociating, you're you're becoming a different person around them, like that's not you, then like that environment is not for you, and you need to leave, because I think it will affect you more than you think. And yeah, I've experienced that quite a few times now, and I'm glad that I'm out of that environment, I guess. Not just the high school experience, but there's other experiences, right? Secondly, everything in moderation. So this would relate to your gym goals, your diet, and for me, like I would say your alcohol intake, especially. You don't want to be too obsessed about the gym, but you want to stay consistent. Like you need to be able to strike a balance and be able to understand like what is rational and what is irrational about your thoughts and processes about the gym. And you know what, like researching this a lot, looking into the internet a lot really helped me with this. But at the same time, also just working it, doing it yourself also help. And you shouldn't compare yourself to these other people's and like copy people's gym split, because yeah, like it works for them, but like will it work for you? You gotta figure out what works for you, you know? And about your diet, like just eat clean, don't obsess over food that much. Like I used to have a bad relationship with food, and now like I think it's a lot better and it's a lot more balanced. And yeah, if you guys want to see a video of how I've been building, I guess like my gym, like I guess my gym split and my gym journey, and like how I've come to this conclusion that like this is the best split for me, or just basically like if you guys just like want to see how I built my own gym split and my diet, so you guys can help build your own goals, please let me know, or don't let me know and I'll just post it. And regarding alcohol, just drink normal amounts, or best probably not to like binge drink. The main part is do not binge drink. And yeah, the UK, I think the UK government like stipulates that like moderated drinking needs to be 14 units, under 14 units a week or something like that. I don't remember. It could be 7 units or 14 units. I do not remember anymore. But basically, like, switch it up, do some research, be conscious about your alcohol intake, and yeah, and don't binge drink. And binge drinking definition is drinking something really fast within an hour or two, like back to back, kind of. I don't know. Next advice. It's okay to falter. Your gym journey is personal to you, and it's only for your development, and only you know how far you've gotten. So it's okay to falter in the gym, and you just, as long as you keep going, you know. Don't compare yourself to all these people, especially social media, or even like the people around you, especially as a man. I think as a man, it's really hard to not compare yourself with all these guys who are just like one taller than you, at least for me, and just like bigger than you. And it's fine, you know, like they don't know your journey, you don't know their journey, you know. Only you know your true progress. Like I remember there was this guy that I told him that I was able to shoulder press like 25 kilograms, and I was really proud of myself. And he's like, only 25. I'm like, this dude is like 6'3", and like twice my body weight. And I'm like, okay, like, fuck you. You know what? Like, fuck you. I didn't say that to him, but like it was kind of like, I felt like I wanted to like prove him wrong and be like, no, you know, like, and like gym to be bigger to prove them wrong. And I'm just like, there's no point, you know, like they're not going to change their opinions. They're insecure because they asked you only 25, like not been like, oh, that's so cool, you know, like whatever. And lastly, it's okay if your priorities change, you know, like how like I stopped the gym for my mental health, and then also my IB exams, you know, like it was great. It wasn't great, but I mean, I'm glad that I put my priorities in certain things. And you know what, it's okay to have priorities. And I think the main part is, as long as you remain active of any forms, don't have to be the gym. You can go on a walk, you can run, you can like literally do like a 30-minute jumping jack video workout or something like that. I think as long as you remain active, you know, like you have nothing to worry about. And yes, that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching this. Hopefully this wasn't too long, and hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Let me know if you guys have any questions or any like things that you want me to talk about more in depth, I guess. If you guys want to see a routine that I've been following nowadays, I can post something like that, or I can post a bit more about, I guess, what I've learned about relationships, or I guess some story times. I don't know, like, I don't know what direction that I want to go to. I guess I just want to like talk and just talk about whatever I want to talk about, you know. Yeah, follow me on social media if you guys want, at Femboy on Instagram, or at ATFemX on TikTok. I've been posting a bit of gym videos, but besides that, it's a lot of like TikTok slop, you know, like stupid shit. Yeah. Mm, I don't know what else to say. Hey, bye guys.